Oh, excited to get to come home soon.
Really? No kidding.
Yeah.
Man, that's the best news I've heard in a long time. You've been stuck in Peru for how long?
Since this whole thing started, man.
What was that, March?
7 months, so 8 maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So
So
looking forward to that.
when do you get to come back home?
Don't have an exact date. I just had read that November they're going to open flights. So
Nice, nice, real nice. Well, good, man. I'll be glad to. I'll be able to tell when the wheels touch down, because the atmosphere will change all across the country.
yeah, right. Oh yeah.
Michael Batista has landed, and today is the Shut Up Money Show. We went live a couple seconds ago, guys. I really appreciate everybody being a part of this. This is a Saturday public Q&A that we do every single week. Public Q&A. So if you're out there, you're curious about real estate, maybe you're in real estate, you got some questions about real estate wholesaling, or today, if you got questions about automated REI and some of the new features and things like that, you hear me talk about it all the time. I love automated REI. So we have Michael Batista here. You saw him. He's in Peru today, but he and a member or two of his team is going to be on with us today and demonstrate with us some of these new features of the automated REI, because the automated REI is about the cheapest and most efficient way of getting leads if you are in the creative real estate business, especially, and other things too, that there is. So if you got questions, you want to jump in here and participate, here's the credentials: www.zoomjustin.com. Password is money. All right. Won't cost any money, but it is money. All right. Realestatewholesalerclub.com if you want to know more about us as well. Plus, there's a free course over there for you. Go check it out. Agreements package, the whole 9 yards. Michael Batista, automated REI.
Yo, everybody, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. So we're gonna talk about leads today. Maybe some strategies. We'll kind of shoot the crap, and just make this a good show overall. I have a member of my team. He'll be joining us shortly. Seif. He's the operation manager. When you call or text into our platform, if you have, need some assistance or anything of that nature, generally you don't talk to me, you talk to my operation manager. But we make sure that we're on the ball with that and try to resolve any issues as quickly as possible, usually within 24 hours is we can get you taken care of. But obviously leads. Justin, where do you want me to take this, man? You want to talk about creative financing leads, wholesale leads? I mean, what do you think the audience wants to hear today?
First of all, let's talk about, let me share screens with you real quick, because I want to show people what we're going to dive into today. I've logged in here to automated REI. You can see it. I'm sorry, guys. It is theautomatedrei.com. Get it right. It's the automated. Okay, like there is no other. This is theautomatedrei.com. Sometimes I think people forget to put the in there, and I don't know where that takes you, but it's theautomatedrei.com. So I've logged in there. It's free to log in and all that. If you want to sign up for a free account, you can. The $49 a month plan comes with the VIP sessions and all that good stuff. So that's also something that you could consider if you're not also already signed up for theautomatedrei.com. Over here on the left, look at this, guys. Used to, all this stuff wasn't here. This is the up and down menu. My account, you can see my account. It's a disgrace today. I only got $1.30 in my wallet. Submit your deal. That's a fairly new thing, where you could submit a deal for a possible joint venture. Zillow scraping, I've talked about that a lot. Skip tracing, talked about that a lot. List pulling, we've talked about that some. Craigslist scraping, we've talked about that a lot. And there's some really great things you can do with that tool right there, guys. If you know what you're doing, you got the gold nuggets, you can do some really cool things. SMS campaigns, text blasting, or TCPA compliant. Okay, here's one we haven't talked about ever, and that's ringless voicemail.
Mm-hmm.
And brand new to the site. And then we have wait a minute, template messages down here. Template messages. So I'm hoping you guys can give us a little demo. I mean, you don't have to demo it, but break it down for us. And
yeah, absolutely.
I recommend to everybody when they get started, if they don't have a program or somewhere to go and they're like, hey, where do I go to get leads? Okay, this is always what I say. Go to theautomatedrei.com, start learning to use the Craigslist scraper and the Zillow scraper, and get yourself 500 to 1,000 leads a week.
That's it. And that's something I want to, I was thinking about this earlier this morning, and I wanted to touch on this on the actual show today. Is if you guys are just getting started, right? Or maybe some of you are veterans, but this message is more for folks just getting started, and maybe you have $100 a month, $200 a month maximum. You cannot exceed that for your marketing. This is the most affordable platform out there for that. And that it was designed with that scenario in mind, like to actually help someone in that situation try to get their foot in the door and do 2 deals a month, right? And keep in mind, you don't need expensive CRM software or expensive software in general to do this business. You can get your foot in the door here, for 50, even 100, $200 a month, kind of a maximum in order to do 1 to 2 deals. I can confidently say that. And courtesy of Justin, of course, but the platform has pretty much all of Justin's training courses. I mean, there's a couple I think that aren't on there, but we have the vast majority of training courses on the automatedrei.com website. And you guys are more than welcome to come on and watch those, download those for free. And that's it definitely a huge huge thank you and shout out to Justin here for doing that for everyone. I think that's definitely added a lot of value to the marketplace and to the platform. So
I appreciate you saying that, man. I wanted to back out here to this main page of Automated REI, of theautomatedrei.com, and I wanted to show those plans because you brought up a good point, and people don't realize this. I don't own Automated REI. I just like to talk about it, okay? Because I like to use it. Okay, I'm friends with Michael. Was friends with him while he was developing it. Okay, so that's how he and I kind of came together. And as he developed it, I was interested. I kind of stayed in touch with him. He stayed in touch with me. He got it developed. I tested out the product. I was like, man, this is going to save me money. Okay. Plus, this is going to be great for the club members. And we kind of have partnered up a little here in the sense that I promote the use of the Automated REI a lot. Because you guys hear me talk about it, and I'm happy to do it because I believe in the product. But they've set up these tiers here for new subscribers, so you can pay as you go, which is free to sign up. Okay. The account that I'm going to log into or that I was just logged into, that's actually a free account. Okay. I have a few accounts that I have access to here on the Automated REI. That happens to be a free one. Nothing wrong with that. All of the same features work. The professional one is $19 a month, and this will save you money. So if you're doing 500 to 1,000 texts a month, scrapes and texts, and maybe buying some lists and things like that too, this is a good option for you. Okay, because it's going to save you money on the use of the thing. Okay, so instead of it being, that's why he's saying, you can do your entire marketing for your entire business, two deals a month on 150, maybe 200 a month, and he said that's max. Well, I totally concur. Definitely. Now the business plan, though, this comes with, all the courses that I have. Okay. And it comes with the VIP sessions. So if you sign up here, you don't have to sign up on my site. We've kind of partnered up in that sense. So that's something maybe a lot of folks don't realize, is that when you get that 49, not only are you saving the data, but you're getting the courses and you're getting access to my VIP every month and every week, every day. So there's a lot of education value. That tool there that Michael's developed is really designed for the newbie. I mean, guys like me like it too. Okay. But the new guy could come right in and plug in, get a lot of education for free, sign up for the $49 a month, get access to me and my team and the coaches over there at Real Estate Wholesalers Club. And boom. That's whack. Okay. I mean, it's unheard of. It's really what it is.
It really is. And that's obviously, Justin, you and I have talked multiple times about this. That was part of the reason why, I wanted to partner up with you on this, because, my mindset, I don't need to make a ton of money on any one particular customer. That's not my goal, right? I make enough money. But at the end of the day, I want to make this as affordable as possible. I make my money on volume, right? And if I can help more people do that, it's just kind of a snowball effect. You'll tell your friend and so on and so forth. That's the most powerful marketing. So that was really my mission, is to create an affordable product that's still profitable, but it's super affordable for the everyday person. You're working a 9 to 5, or you're working overnights. You need something, super affordable to be able to do this. $100 a month, you're good to go. And then, Justin, the 49 a month, I know you have a couple of 2.0 courses on there. So that 49 comes with the 2.0 courses and all of them. And then the 6 times a week group coaching calls. Right? And then you have a couple of additional coaches that have dedicated some of their time to hop on and lead those trainings and offer different point of views, which I think is great. I know Victor hops on Wednesdays, and Arturo now, who's a very successful wholesaler as well in Texas. He's on Thursdays or Fridays?
Fridays. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's great. Claude Diamond comes on, every once in a while as a guest, who's of course Justin's mentor, and it's great value. So I really appreciate you putting it on.
Thank you, dude.
It all comes down to, again, having a good supply of leads. And how many leads a month would you say, not text messages, not data, but how many leads a month do you think reasonably someone would have to have, in a week or a monthly basis to close 1 to 2 deals? What is your opinion on
that? I would say somewhere around 100 to 120 if you're new. Okay. If you're not so new, you could probably whittle that down by way of experience. But I say that amount because you should be working, if you're brand new, somewhere between, really you should be working 30 to 50 leads a week. Okay. And those are leads that you're getting positive responses from, a text blast or something like this, or a Ringless voicemail, which we're going to show here in just a minute. So a positive response, that's a lead. Okay. So out of about 30 to 50, you should be getting a deal. Okay. Possibly 2. All right. So if you had 100, you should be getting 2 to 4 deals in there. That's out of 100 leads. Okay.
Right. Right.
So you're still going to hear a lot of goofy, flaky homeowners. Okay. You're still going to hear a lot of no's. You're going to hear a lot of, I'm not ready's and that doesn't fits and all that stuff. Okay. But out of 100, somewhere between 2 and 4. All right. But remember, if you're new, you might falter a little, you might stumble a little, you might make some rookie mistakes, and not all 4 of those close the way they should. Okay. So it's a good system to have 4 or 5 deals in your pipeline every month, all the time, month in, month out. This is a way to automate that, guys. The automated REI. Okay. You can teach a VA to do this, man. You can teach a VA to run this machine and get those 100 leads for you this month. Okay. This month. Okay. Now, me and my team, we like to go for 100 a week. Okay. Mm-hmm. Maybe you're a little more advanced and you've got your sea legs and you can handle 100 a week, you and your virtual assistants and team. Okay. But if you're just starting, go for 100 a month. I'm telling you, there's money in there. There's money in there. And use the VIP to bounce off, hey, I got this motivated seller. He's willing to do the deal, but how do I make the numbers work? Or how do I price this? Or how do I build the ad to find a tenant buyer? Or how do I, okay, that's what those sessions are for. That's what we're here for.
Right.
That's what Real Estate Wholesalers Club.
They can jump on that call and say, hey, this is what I've got going on. So it's open discussion.
Oh yeah.
From most of the shows, right? Yeah. So it's kind of an open forum. I think that's great. And then of course the Facebook group, is an open forum. If it's not necessarily something that can be handled in that show or happens after the show. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just about as good as a text message. It's got all of us in there, so we can always chime in. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's phenomenal. I know Tusif is now on the call here, and
Tusif, what's up, man? Everybody meet Tusif.
Hey man, how are you? I'm good.
If you don't know who Tusif is the dude that gets shit done. Okay, Tusif is the man that we have to have. Okay, we love Tusif around here. Tusif is he's the resident automated REI guy. He actually works for automated REI. And if you need something fixed, you need something looked at, you have an idea, something needs to happen, there's no better person to get in touch with than Tusif. And you can do that if you're in the VIP or in the business plan on automated REI. Either way, same thing. You can tag him in the Facebook group. If you're a one-on-one student of mine, you're in the chat room, you can tag him using the @ symbol and then start typing his name, TOUSEEF. Okay. It'll pop him up. Touch that. It'll send him a notification. He gets right back to us. Right. Okay. He's on the other side of the world, but if he's available at all, he's on top of that. And you got to respect that because that is pretty cool. When it comes to being VIP, having direct access to Tusif that's worth the money that you pay to be VIP right there. Okay. Alone. So let me say that first of all, Tusif, thank you for the value that you bring to me and to the VIP members and stuff, man. I mean, it's great. And are you going to, sorry to interrupt with all that. I just wanted to pat him on the back because I love Tusif.
Thank you very much, Justin. I just wanted to show some new developments, some new updates, which we did in last couple of weeks. So.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Okay. That'd be great. So I know there's really a handful of updates, but kind of the main couple, Ringless voicemail, we can kind of show how that works. And pretty much everyone has heard of Ringless voicemail, but we'll just go over it. So of course it's very much like text messaging, but at the end of the day, instead of sending an actual text, it sends a voicemail. And so it's just another form of communication to get in touch with people. The response rates, they aren't going to be as good as text messaging, but when you try to text message someone and they don't respond, it is a good alternative, and it's also a good side-by-side communication. You could send a text and a ringless voicemail. You can do them back to back, or right on top of each other, and your response rates will increase. So Two Thief, what are we looking at here?
Dude, I thought of something, man. I'm sorry to interrupt this because I'm jonesing for this ringless voicemail, but tell us about the new incoming lead notification, because see, that's been a big deal for people. Right. And I wanted to say thank you for that too. So now, whereas previously you run your scrape, you send your text blast out, a lot of people text back pretty much right away, but some are hours later, some are maybe a day or two later. And there was no notification system to let you know that a straggler lead popped in the funnel a couple days later until now, right? You guys have that cracked. Oh, Jerry's applauding. Woo! Because that is a kick-ass feature, guys. Thank you for that. The chat's lighting up, man. People love that. That was one of the best things ever. That's like the best thing since sliced bread, because now we can go on with our lives. And then, there's a lead. Okay. That's perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's been one of the features, of course, that seems very, very simple, seems pretty basic. There's actually a lot of sophisticated coding and everything that goes into that, not to get too technical, but our guys were able to get that put in there. And we've had really good feedback with it. So we really do appreciate, any suggestions, anything that we can do, to improve the platform, as long as it makes sense to do so. And it's a very, it's a pretty common, request, then we will very likely put that in. So
where do we put the number in? Where do we make sure the right phone number for the notification is? Where do we put that in? Can you show us?
Yeah. So when users sign up and they put their personal number, that is the number, which the system actually uses for sending SMS, text notification. And, you can always change that, if somebody's, want to change the number, if they want to get a notification to some other number, they can always reach out to us. They can submit a spot ticket, or they can just directly reach us to us. They can call or text message us, and we can update that number for them.
Okay, great. Yeah. There you go, guys. If you're not getting those notifications, it's because you put some kind of Google number in when you signed up that was for an account that you forgot about. Okay, yeah. So you'll need to
how do I
work that
change
out.
the number then?
I'm sorry.
I was wondering, how do I change the number? Because I think I got when I signed up for REI, I signed up with my personal phone number, and I don't want to use that. I got a business phone number I want to use.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you can just email me which number you want to use. I'll just have my team update that in the back end. That's fine.
Okay.
You can still receive the notification on the business or Google Voice number.
Great. Great.
There you go.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'm like Justin. That's good.
Yeah. If anybody else is having that problem besides Ed and me, go. Just shoot Two-Thief a message, or tag him in the Facebook group or in the one-on-one room, chat room for one-on-one students, and he can take care of you.
Yeah. So one of the new update, the latest update which we did, it's template messages. So previously, whenever somebody wants to send a message, every time they had to type in their message into this SMS campaign page. They have to type in new message, and also it was only capable of just sending just one message at a time. But now we have this template messages option here, and here is also a template messages page. Here you can add as many template messages, multiple different messages templates you want. You can even edit them, and they'll just be, when when
Nice.
you're ready to send SMS campaign, you can just go in this page. You can just choose which template you want to send. You can also choose multiple templates. System will automatically rotate those templates. This will also help us, ensure the maximum delivery, avoid carrier spamming and all
Oh,
of this
wow.
stuff. Yeah.
Is that per scrape? So it'll cycle through those text message templates all
Yeah.
during that one scrape?
Yes, exactly. All
Wow, that's
during
great.
those
Oh,
one
that's
SMS
awesome.
campaign. Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and just to add to what Tusi was saying, just to clarify, when you're sending text messages and you're sending the same exact text message over and over again, there is a maximum daily limit to how many text messages you can send per phone number, right? And that can be anywhere, and it's so touchy. Some days it could be 50, some days it could be 100, some days it could be 200. It's never exact, and it's very much a science. So what we came up with and implemented here was a rotational type system. So instead of having the same exact text message go out and have to combat that, this is going to allow you to basically, what I like to do is I'll send a rent to own or a seller finance type of text message. And I actually typed out 10 different messages, and we can throw that in the YouTube box and the comments and everything like that. We'll give that away on the
Yeah,
call.
that's cool. Cool.
But it's basically the same exact message written 10 different ways. Okay. And that's really what we're doing with this templated system. So it changes it up enough for the carriers to allow the message to go through and they won't flag it as spam. So your phone numbers will stay fresher longer, right? And so that requires fewer tickets to have to be submitted. Hey, my phone number got flagged or whatever. We got to get you new phone numbers, which is fine. Happy to do it. But you don't want to take that time out of your day any more than we do. So we created this system that's going to help a lot along the way here. So um, that's really, there's no real limits to it. If you're sending wholesale text messages or if you're sending seller finance text messages, you can mix and match and put both in one. I mean, I prefer to do separate campaigns myself. That's how I would advise you to do it as well. But if I'm pulling, let's say, Craigslist, I'm scraping that data, sending the text. My general message is, hey, saw your house on Craigslist or saw your house online. I was wondering if you would consider selling as a rent to own. Please let me know. Thank you. Well, I rewrote that message and said, hey, saw your house advertised online. So I had another word in there. I was wondering if you would consider a short-term rent to own. So I'm just adding a couple different words, changing it up just enough. And that's what allows the deliverability, allows that system to really work for you. So
That's awesome.
but you can create, generally 10 is going to be enough. You can create 10 messages. You just got to write that out. Again, we'll give away 10 seller financing messages on this call and put it on the YouTube and the group and everything, and all of that, so everyone can copy those and use them as you like. But those are catered towards seller finance, rent to own, lease option stuff.
There you go. So
Yeah.
free gift for everybody that's in the Facebook group and so on and so forth. I'll help share the link around too. But
For sure.
10 free text templates. Also, I was going to say, if you're in the VIP or if you're in the business plan of theautomatedrei.com, either way, same thing. It will give you access to Outsource Lease Options 2.0 training course and advanced agreements packages and all the materials. And in that course is 25 text templates. So there you go. There will be 35 texts that you get just for getting the $49 business plan. Man, this deal is pretty sweet. This sounds like an infomercial. We didn't even plan it. But wait, if you act now.
Right. But yeah, I mean, that was kind of one of the most important features for us is, you know, the carriers and spam and all this stuff, you know, it comes up pretty often. So we wanted to try and combat and help you obviously make the most out of your text marketing. And that's primarily what we push, because we're going after those seller finance type deals and Craigslist and FSBOs.
So when we fill out the text template, when we go over to the text template menu over to the left, and we go to the text templates, and it pulls up the screen that TwoSeef is on right now, we can put those templates in. We can change them as often as we want. But then when we go to do our text blast, our SMS campaign, that's when it pops up right there.
Yeah, they will appear here.
And we can select. So that's how easy that is, y'all, to do.
Yeah, and TwoSeef, real quick, if you want to take us through a demo of that start to finish, I mean, obviously you'll have to have your templates written out, so we can just kind of show you like a basic, you know, writing out one template and then just understanding you'll more.
Sure.
It's going to show us how to do that.
So let me just delete those existing ones. So there's delete button. There's also, you know, you can also edit them here. You can also delete the old one. You can always add new one.
Perfect.
So I'm just deleting one by one.
Okay. And so if we go in here and we type out our message and then hit save, there's going to be a master template campaign. Is that kind of how that works?
I'm sorry, what do you mean by master campaign?
So what I mean by that is, let's say I want only seller financing, you know, so I can select that from the drop-down menu. So if I'm sending it to a certain list, is that kind of how we
It's not, I mean, there are no groups, but you know, so let's say if there are, somebody has saved 10 templates, all those 10 templates will appear here, and they can select or unselect whichever they want. They can select all of them. They can just select first two of them. They can just select last two of them, whatever they want. They'll have this ability.
So you can decide, okay, I only want to use these three, and then you can kind of A to B split and see what the best response rates are, and just eliminate the ones.
It'll automatically rotate those for us?
Yes, correct. It
will. That's great, guys.
Okay, perfect.
You got Ringless voicemail set up like that yet?
yeah, Ringless voice, Ringless voicemail also does that. So
perfect.
This right here, template message, this is a page on the left tab. There's a tab template message. You have to go there, and by default, when you know there's no template already saved, the system will ask you to save at least 5 templates. This is, you know, you must save at least 5 templates, because you know we are doing text, we're doing template rotation. Because if you somebody just doing one template or two, it does not make any sense to, you know, rotate the messages. So that's why we just system. So everybody must save 5 minimum templates.
Okay.
And I can submit any title I want. Let's say I want owner finance.
Yeah, owner finance 1, owner finance 2.
Yeah.
You know, or if you want to do like a wholesale message, you know, we can talk about, you know, multiple different types of messages, like even creating ones that go after for rent properties. You know, there's the FSBO messages, there's the for rents, there's the expired listing, you know, there's pre-foreclosures, there's those would be like the main 4 or 5 lists, you know, if you're going after seller financing deals. Or if you have, you know, have interest in working directly with realtors, that could be an option as well. I know some investors, you know, are starting to involve realtor engagement with trying to convert some of those listings into actual sub-2 seller finance lease option transactions as well. So you could certainly leverage this. Okay, so we have a message in the comment box here. Let me just read that real quick. So Nicholas Gonzalez says, for rent and absentee owner, an example of a good message for those would be great. So, okay. Yeah, we can, Justin, we can go over like a really good for rent message. I mean, personally, what I like to do on those is I'll pretty much say the same thing. Say, saw your house, instead of for sale, say I saw your house advertised on Craigslist. I could say Craigslist, I could say Zillow. I don't have to. I could just leave it generic. Saw your house online. For rent, I was wondering if you would consider doing a rent to own or a short term. Well, how I do it is I'll say rent to own. And if they say no, then Justin gave me an idea of that up and saying, oh, okay, would you be open to me renting it for a couple of years and then I buy it? It's pretty much the same thing. I mean, it's just written a different way. And then when you get on the phone with the seller, with, you know, whomever's managing that listing, you know, if it's property management owned or if it's by a realtor, you have that conversation and try to convert it. And Justin's training would certainly help you how to do all of those.
Yeah. So guys, if you're hitting the numbers, 500 to 1,000 a week, you're practicing with Victor and the VIP, the conversation. What else is there? I can't think of anything. I can't think of anything other than just to do it. Right. And many other people have done it before you. We're doing it right now in front of you.
So guys, I just saved the templates here. You can see.
Oh yeah.
You can always edit them if you want. Let's say you want to change here. Let's say you want to do, I saw your house. Let's say, and just edit here. Then click save again, and it will.
Yeah, just change the title, just so you know it's a different, you know, it's a different template and has a different message. But really, the point is trying to get the same exact message out, right? Or at least the same general idea of what you're trying to accomplish on that message. So, not to say that this is a course in copywriting, but it's just understanding how to write the same thing, but written 5 or 6 or 10 or 15 or 50 different ways, right? Yeah. You're basically saying the same message, you're changing up a couple of things in that message and then saving it. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do.
I've been describing automated REI like a shotgun, but I'm going to change that now to a Gatling gun. It's like a Gatling gun. Preloaded messages. Like that, man. Unstoppable. Don't even try.
I have a question, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I do SMS campaign, and as we was talking earlier about the stragglers coming in later, I get a notice on my phone saying that I have an SMS message, okay? Right. Problem is, when you go into the automated REI, it doesn't tell you where, you know, you don't have that customer's information right there. It would be nice if I could come into the automated REI and there's a notification that would pop up, and I would know exactly where to go to find that customer.
Okay. So that means you're looking to, get the campaign name. So you want to know, which campaign name that message belongs, right?
Which campaign and which customer, rather than search all the way through. Okay. So if I had a Zillow campaign 1, say for instance,
Mm-hmm.
I would want to know that it was the Zillow campaign 1. Now, do I have to go through all of the leads in that campaign to find that customer? Or would that be something that could just pop up as, letting me know that I have a new lead? If it was
Yeah.
something that said I had a new lead, boom, I pop, I click on that, information come up on that new lead. That would save time from searching through all the campaign.
Yeah, definitely. So we are actually already aware of this, and we have also received quite a few feedbacks from users, and this is also on our task list. Hopefully, this feature will be added in our next update. We are
Yeah,
actually working on this
that would be
right
really
now.
helpful.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. And that one, I think that would probably be an update that would be pretty efficient to do. I don't think it would take a lot of time to essentially develop that. So when you're clicking on your, on your message on your phone, you would want it to basically pop up the site and immediately go to the campaign that shows that message. Is that what you're saying?
For the notification
whether it
bell.
was on my phone or whether I had to go into the automated REI, I would like to have something, an icon saying, okay, you have a new message. And I could click on that new message, okay? Now I have the guy's name, phone number, I can make that call. But if you go back into the automated REI now and you send out 100 messages, now you got to go back and search through, okay, to try to find that one customer. And now if you got 3 campaigns, you're wasting a lot of time searching, trying to find that person that sent you that message.
Makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. So we'll get, actually, that'll be the next major feature update that we can go ahead and implement. Like I said, I don't think that would take a lot of time. So to see, we'll go ahead and get started working on that ASAP here.
Well, I think it would amount to the information that you have scraped. I mean, there's no additional data being added by the text reply from the homeowner. So you might not have his name anyway, but what it would be the campaign name and then maybe the Zillow listing and the phone number, or the scraped listing, the address. Maybe that would, I don't know what information you could provide really, because this is such a new lead.
Yeah. So I know Zillow, they just call it property owner. So they don't actually have the name.
Yeah.
But like you said, we can pull up, the Zillow link if it is coming from Zillow, the URL, phone number for that person.
On my phone right now, okay, it says, "Hi, Jerry. You received one new message from your SMS campaign, Zillow Scrape 67. Okay. Regarding the automated REI."
Okay.
So you know the campaign name, but it doesn't tell you which lead inside the campaign.
I think it would be helpful if you go into that campaign and it just had like a color or some kind of little symbol or something when you go in that campaign to show that this is the new lead that came in. I don't know if that would be a lot simpler. So that way you just know what to look for. Like if it was highlighted like a light blue or something showing that this is the new lead, like
message number. Maybe there's a
But
way
what
to.
if you get 5 or 6 leads at the same time?
Then it needs to be orange and then purple and then pink.
or at least it's just like some kind of little symbol, like how like where it shows if they read it and it goes like a faded gray, like you started the conversation, you opened it, you looked at it. If there was another little symbol that had like a thumbs up or something, like, hey, this is the new lead that came in, just something to show that it already tells you what campaign it is, and you just go to it and then you just scroll, we know what symbol we're looking for. I think that would help too. I mean, if that's like an easier fix.
Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, Shay, welcome, Shay.
Since we're putting inputs, or the easiest way, because it sounds like everything is complicated, even the suggestions are complicated, but or you can just have it where it's where it has an arrow and it says last messages at the top, where it's like a filter kind of, but it's not a filter. It's just like a last modified or last updated or last messages, where it goes in order.
Yeah, that's
So
a good idea.
What we have right now is, we call it the eyeball feature. To see if you want to show that, like when someone gets a text message, that's what we have right now. Of course, that can always be improved on, but the eyeball feature.
It could be as simple as a notification up there at the bell at the top. The notification, it could be that simple. Maybe even. I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm just doing what everybody else is doing.
No, you're good. You're good. So Seef's showing he's going to show the notification eye. So when you get that text message, you'll know, obviously, we've done a lot of campaigns, but when you see, you can at least get in the right spot. But then when you go through, we pull up some messages here. Basically, there's going to be a little eye, like an eyeball. And the message is going to be bold. You see that right there, where it's got an eyeball with a line through it. That means you haven't actually acknowledged or clicked on it yet.
As soon as you click on that.
Oh, y'all didn't know that. Y'all didn't know that.
Nope.
Oh, they one step ahead of everybody.
Well, that's what I was saying is, like, if you see that, but instead of going through all of them, because you don't know which one came in from that text message.
It'll be the one that's bold.
Well, yeah, no, but there's some that are bold that are like responses that you're not going to click on, like if it's not the low-hanging fruit, right?
Oh, so you should have a clear button or something where you could just acknowledge it and move on.
Yeah. Or better still, Justin, can you just push all those messages that have come up, which are new, just up the list, so that you don't have to scroll through 300 of them to get to the ones that are highlighted.
Oh, Aisha with a base hit. Whoa.
It's like a filter. It's kind of
like a sort to the top or a filter.
Like unread ones get pushed to the top. That's it.
Okay.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to say. I couldn't explain it.
See, that's all you got to do. You got to get some female minds on the problem. And
Aisha.
Hi, how are you? I haven't been on this thing for some time now. I've been busy, but let's get back to it and let's get these men on track.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. So, yeah, that would be, that probably would, I don't think that would probably take no more than a day, I would think, just to implement that.
Yeah, it should not. We can work on this. We can test it out before, launching it for the users end. Yeah.
I use REI Simple, Joe McCall's CRM. And when if I was sending out a campaign, at the top it would be like a iPhone, a small phone, and it would be like 3, the number 3. That would say you got 3 new messages. You click on it. Once you click on the message, those 3 are at the top.
Okay. So it tells you how many you got.
Yeah.
Okay. Tells you how many you got.
It'd be just like a little cell phone at the top. It'll say 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then you click on it right at the top, all 3 of those messages.
Okay. And you click it and it shows the ones right at the top. Okay.
That's what we want for Christmas. That's what we want for Christmas now, Michael.
I think we can deliver that. I don't think that's a problem at all. It shows up. Okay.
We made it sound complicated, man.
I've got that written down here as notes. So we'll start working on implementing that. As soon as after this call, we'll get our developers on it and
That's awesome,
start getting
dude.
that in there for you guys.
Somebody said in the chat on YouTube that we made it sound complicated. And I want to apologize because actually it's ridiculously simple. It really, really is. That's why I recommend everybody go to the automated REI. Now, just so you know, the automated REI started about 2 years ago when the VIP and group coaching and stuff started here at Real Estate Wholesalers Club. So, we've kind of come up together a little bit, and I like that. So they have gotten a lot of feedback from us, and a lot of the stuff you see on the site today on the platform, the automated REI, is come from sessions just like this one, guys. So you guys might be like, oh yeah, what are they doing? This is, let him talk. Okay. This club loves the automated REI and we support the automated REI. And not only that, they get a lot of feedback from us and they make a lot of changes and developments because they're new too, just like we are. So if you're new, it's a great group to be in because we're all really kicking ass together to start with. Okay. So, not complicated, guys. Don't let us confuse you. Great questions and stuff though. I bet there's some more.
Definitely. And like I said, if there's any feedback or features or whatever, we do take that to heart and we try to get those in. Development process can take a while, depending on how complicated the feature or features are. But something like a notification or, a sort feature, things like that really should only take a couple of days at most. Of course, if we have a backlog of a bunch of stuff, just keep in mind that it can take a couple of weeks, even for simple things. But something like this, it's so minuscule, but it's important, right? So we'll get that in. We'll treat that as priority for you guys. That's not a problem.
I'm really looking forward to, since we're throwing, ideas around. I'm really looking forward to the day when you guys add a properties or some type of tab onto the platform where I can go in, put the property address in, and it'll populate the Zestimate for me and some other basic data so that I know kind of the values of what I'm dealing with here and what's going on with the property. Now, I know I could just go look at Zillow, but I'm lazy, right? And sometimes I have properties that I've gotten outside of automated REI and I just want to run a quick check on. So I know you, that's a big thing to change. But
I think that's an API integration. I don't think that's a big deal, but I'll take a look at. So more or less just understanding real quick and dirty of the Zestimate.
The estimate of the fair market value or after repair value, perhaps, or something like that. And maybe an API integration with the comps map or some of the more, so when I go to the Zillow listing now, I have to go down and scroll around and look around and pick a few different options. But if some of that stuff was integrated right into the site where it was just boom, right in my face, that would help my team as well, and new people coming on board when they have virtual assistants and new team members, and they can all be working off of the same information, the same ideas, same of ARVs. Like, hey, did you check that property's value on? Okay, go to automated REI, plug it in, see what it says. Okay, how many square feet did it say? How many bedrooms does that say? Okay, this is public record shit here. Okay, I'm thinking. I don't know though. I don't know.
There's certain data licensing things that come into some of that, but maybe if we use like a Zestimate or a Redfin or something of that nature, I might be able to implement that pretty simply. But I'll take a serious look at that and see what would be involved. I agree. The fewer tools that you have to use, just
What about a login for the VAs?
Additional users, right, on your account?
Yes.
Yeah. Great question, man.
Okay, so additional users.
See, right now, that's why I have several accounts, guys.
Okay.
Gold nugget tip for you. If you're having this problem, I have a personal account. I was just in it. I showed it to you when we started today. But I also have several other accounts that my team uses. Okay. I also have logins and all that for that too. But see, now that's how I'm doing it now. But if I had perhaps one account where I could add multiple users, then I wouldn't need to have several accounts to manage my business. You see where I'm going with that?
Right. Because right now I'm like the VA, I've been given my login to them.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm thinking, so additional users, right now, yeah, you have to do separate accounts. And then of course, if you sign up for one of the VIP, or you're on the professional or even the VIP plan, we would have to essentially grant that same access to those other accounts. So everyone is equal, as far as data discounts and all those different things. So yeah, we'll take a look at the additional users and see what would be involved to implement that. That doesn't sound like it'd be overly difficult, but I'll do some research on that today and see what we're looking at for sure.
Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Whoa, this did not go the way I thought it was going to go. But you guys, you know what? It's a sign of that the club members here are really using the product. They're really using automated REI. That's why they have these ideas and suggestions. And man, that's valuable. I know you guys appreciate it, but I wanted to say thank you to everybody that's here and picking up some techniques and tips along the way too. But also, your ideas, they are making a difference in this platform because it is coming up. It's come a long way. And I'll tell you one thing, I was with a program very similar to this one before Michael invented this one and with TwoSeef. And I was paying $197 a month plus scraping, plus texting, plus follow-ups. Okay. It had a CRM with it that was so confusing. I couldn't figure out how to use it. Okay. It came with low rent websites that nobody went to. Okay. When I heard that Michael was building this and it was going to be a zero cost per month, and then the texting and text blasting was going to be cheaper than what I was paying previously with the $197 a month program, I was like, hot dog, I'm in. So it's good to get on the ground floor, guys. I imagine maybe, I don't know, I'm speculating at some point in the future, this platform is not going to be free. Okay. It probably shouldn't be now. It sounds, it's madness. Okay. But,
right.
Take advantage of it. And the support and growth with us it's priceless. So.
Right. And I mean, as far as the platform, just to kind of add to that, like I said, when I started off, I was using the same programs that Justin was using, and I kind of got sick of paying the monthly fees. Of course, we give you the option if you want to do that, you get some data discounts. You don't need that though, especially if you're doing maybe $100 in marketing a month. I mean, I wouldn't even worry about the 19 plan. The only reason I would say sign up for the 49 plan is because it does come with that data discount, and it also comes with Justin's coaching, which to me is priceless. I mean, you have pretty much direct access to this guy. I mean, what, 4 days a week, 5 days a week, something like that, Justin?
Yeah, it's like pretty much every day. Yeah.
Are you on? And I don't know because I don't chime in every day. Are you on the member? I know Victor and Arturo. Do you jump on those calls, or are they pretty much hands-on with those?
Oh yeah, it's Tuesday I'm on, Wednesday night I'm on, Thursday I'm on, Saturday I'm on. Wednesday during the day it's Victor, and
Okay.
Friday during the day it's Arturo or Ace. And
Okay.
I occasionally will pop in, but very, very, very rarely, because these guys, if you've given them a chance and you've listened to some of the content they're putting out on those days, it's just like incredibly good. They are absolute beasts, and they are exactly what we need for those days. We need a Victor is a phone assassin, and he is role playing with us, and that's what we need. And Arturo is a local market destruction machine. I mean, you want to destroy your local market? Okay, I'm the virtual guy. Arturo is the local market guy. So on Fridays, man, wow. Gold bombs, okay, going off.
Right.
So I don't need to interfere, is what I'm saying, you know?
Yeah. So I mean that's great. And of course the group chat, I know that's for one-on-one students, but even being on the VIP Facebook group, I mean, if you guys have any immediate questions, use that, because you're going to have a call with a seller and not know what the hell to do. And I mean that's what we're here for. That's literally why this whole program exists, is to try and create an affordable way of having coaching, legitimate training available to you. So I know Justin does a great job. Arturo, Victor, they do a great job. I don't know if you ever plan on adding more member-led folks to that, but one thing we do need some help with, guys, is sometimes I'll jump on these calls, and sometimes we'll have guests on these calls, and we're looking for great guests to bring on the show. Particularly folks that do something a little bit different. We try to show different aspects of this business. And I think it's kind of neat to change up the pace a little bit. But if you know of any coaches, mentors, or even really successful wholesalers that are just crushing it local, crushing it virtual, it doesn't matter, and you want to see if they'll come on the show, definitely do a group with us, and we'll happy to invite them on the show, and we'll do a little interview with them and make sure they're a fit. But it's not some interrogation. It's just ask them a couple questions, and if they're a fit, we'll go ahead and throw them an invite and bring them on. We love doing that stuff.
This is Real Estate Wholesalers Club. It's not Justin Chamness, okay? This is the Real Estate Wholesalers Club. A lot of people, you hear me say it all the time, you're never going to get rich in this business alone, ever, okay? You never have, nor will you ever do a real estate transaction, wholesale or otherwise, by yourself. It takes other people. And so Real Estate Wholesalers Club is about you, and you watching, you participating, the VIP members, the one-on-one students, learning, growing, doing deals together, asking questions, teaching each other, learning, growing, developing. It's a hell of a community. It's a hell of a community. And if you're not part of it, I don't know what your problem is, to be honest with you. Because I love it. It's the funnest thing I've ever done my whole life. And I've done some pretty crazy shit. Let's do a lightning round. Questions. I know somebody was asking about a follow-up program where we could set up follow-up texts. That's a great idea. I'm sure there's some other questions out there too. Sandra said something here in the chat. You might want to respond to her. Jonathan, he said he knows some great people for the Shut Up Money Show. Okay.
Absolutely.
Let us know, Jonathan. We got a link where they can schedule a time. Yeah,
And I'm looking over the chat. So I got a message. It says, my question was scraping for rent on Zillow. Properties particularly listed with agents. Do I have any good conversation rates when I do a text blast and talk to property managers and realtors regarding a rent-to-own offer? So there's I have a question back because I'm not exactly sure. So when you say good conversation, conversion rate?
Sorry, conversion rate. So conversion rate, Michael.
Okay, so good conversion rate when doing the text blast and talking to the property managers and realtors. So, so the question, let me rephrase it. If I'm sending 100 text messages to, those realtors, or I'm making 100 phone calls, right? What am I going to generally expect?
Not phone calls. I'm talking about when you're doing a text blasting and you scrape, because I recently did a scrape where for Zillow for the rent, and it all came back as property managers and realtors, and I didn't know that it was going to come back like that. So that's something that I know moving forward. I think that I probably would have a better conversion if I'm talking to for rent by owner versus properties that are listed with property managers and realtors. So earlier on you had brought up something about how sometimes you text these properties that are listed with property managers and realtors via the scraping. So my question is that when you've done that in the past, have you had good conversion rate with them knowing that you're an investor?
Yeah,
text blast.
So that's a great question. What I would tell you to make sure to increase or have a good conversion rate is focus on properties that have been listed for at least 3 months, if not closer to the 6-month period. Because you got to think about it from a realtor standpoint. The first 30 days, they get a listing, they're excited about it, whatever. They're trying to do everything that they can, open houses, paid advertising if they understand how to do that. They've called all the realtors in their office. They've done everything that they've been trained to do to try and get that property sold. Hasn't sold. So you got to fast forward 60 days, still hasn't sold. They've done a little bit more of what they just did. And then 90 days, they're kind of the point where, seller's not willing to take a lesser price because they can't, or just sometimes they're not willing to do it. And they've pretty much given up on that listing. That at least that's what I've found. So in order to make sure you maximize your conversion rates, you're going to want to focus on those types of properties. Okay. Keep in mind though, when you are going after those properties, you have to offer a value proposition to the realtor. They're not necessarily just going to give you the listing, of course. So if you can structure the deal with the actual realtor to make sure they get paid at least something up front. Sometimes what I would recommend is pay them maybe 1% on the acquisition. And then let's say you do a 12-month lease option, right? Maybe you make sure they get their other 2% in 12 months. So I mean that could be a reasonable situation for the actual realtor. Some of them might be just willing to walk for a flat fee, play around with it. This is real estate. Anything in sales is certainly negotiable. From that standpoint, you could say, look, you're going to lose the listing. Of course, you got to say it in a nicer way, but look, I know you've been marketing this property. You can ask questions. Have you shown it? Have you had any serious inquiries? Have you had any offers? How close were you to selling it? Those are all questions you can ask to really understand the situation there. A text message is really just a gateway to a conversation, right? I never will tell someone only send text messages, don't jump on the phone. I mean, that's not you can't do it
Right.
in this business, at least consistently. You might get some deals. I've heard of people doing it. But I mean, Justin teaches one of the most impressive phone, I mean, ninja assassin closing skills that there is. So utilize the absolute heck out of that. But at the end of the day, when you are talking to these realtors, just put yourself in their shoes. They've given up on the listing. They're just trying to get some money to at least recoup what they've invested in that deal already. So go in with that, hey, I'm trying to help you out. You're trying to help me out to get the deal sold, or you're trying to help the seller out. So you all have to come really together to, come up with that solution. And that could be, the initial phone call with them. Say, hey,
Sure.
you have this property listed for 4 months. I think I have a solution for you. And that's when you can, go into, could the seller possibly consider maybe holding the note for a year? And Justin goes over how to have those conversations with realtors and then of course other folks in general, like sellers. And so leverage those conversation pieces. And at the end of the day, I mean, you'll find a fair percentage of those realtors would be willing to play ball. Of course, they're not going to do it for free. They want to get something. But you might even be able to get out of that transaction for $500 to $1,000.
Right.
And I've heard of people doing that. I mean, normally I would offer 1%, at closing, but it's all depending on you. What is your closing skill? Are you average? Are you below average? Of course, if you're a Claude Diamond, he's a Jedi master, and that's what it is. So the more you train, the higher you're going to close. Yeah. So you might only close at 5 or 10%.
Let's role play that this week, Sandra, in the VIP sessions. Let's role play conversations with realtors. I like the idea. We'll practice that. Yeah. It's real simple. We'll practice that up this week.
Okay.
Good question.
Yeah.
Thank
you, Michael.
Absolutely. Great question. Thanks for asking that.
There's several other questions here in the chat too. John, I wanted to know if there's going to be a copy and paste link feature to the Zillow scraper like we have currently on the Craigslist scraper. I hope that makes sense to everybody out there. If you're not familiar with automated REI.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry for interrupting. Yes, that is actually very simple. This should be done within the next 2 to 3 days.
Okay, so here in the next short little while, it'll be ready to go, John, to answer your question. He said something
so
about
this week, 2 to 3 days. I mean, we can get that implemented for you pretty quickly here. So absolutely.
Yeah, great.
So that'll be one of the priorities, and then of course the filtering would be one of the priorities as well.
Another question was about the text messages. Are they split tested and blah blah? Okay, or are we recommending these because we've had success with them, or just as a base to start with to give us a variety of messages to choose from? Okay, yeah. a little bit of all of it. Okay, split tested would mean that we've tested those texts against other texts, and we've liked these texts, and we've used these texts, and we've recommended these texts because we like them and they work. Okay. So all of the above, I think. All of the above, John. That was a good question.
And I mean, when your delivery rate, I mean, everything is on point. You're not getting flagged, all of that, and that's really what the purpose of the rotational texting system is here to serve you for, is make sure that you can at least get that message out. But again, we're not all copyright experts. So at the end of the day, all I tried to do is take my base text message, and I know Justin teaches a lot of the same thing, but my base text message is exactly this. Hey, saw your house online. I was wondering if you would consider selling it as a rent to own. Please let me know. Thanks. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
I say that, I take that message, and then all I do is I change a couple words here or there, and I'm rewriting it 15 different ways or 10 different ways.
Yeah.
What kind of response are you getting?
So typically, the response rates I get from that is somewhere around 20 to 30%. I've even gotten as high as 50% response rates.
Right.
It's been a while since I've personally seen, much above 50, but that's a good solid number on the high. And I would expect really no less than 20 nowadays. Now that's has nothing to do with like off market lists and wholesale, and that's another call altogether.
Correct.
That we can get in. But if you're sending that message to FSBOs, okay, that's what I see is on FSBOs. If I'm sending that message, I will get 20% absolute minimum. Normally I sit around 30 on average, but I see a high of 50. So anytime you're getting 200 or 300 responses, that's a lot for you to go through. It'll take you a couple hours really to go through and have conversations and set yourself appointments. That's where I really recommend an operation manager or a VA to be in there doing your lead gen for you.
Or at the bare minimum, text blast Thursday, phoning Friday, and signature Saturday. Okay, you can do it yourself, right?
Absolutely.
I've got Zaida Vargas here in the YouTube wanting to know if we can show people that close things and what we did from beginning to end. And have we closed anything? Give us proof. Where have you been? That's my question. Where have you been? We show checks, we show deals, we talk about deals, we show properties. There's dozens and dozens and dozens of people working towards this, and there's lots and lots of those that have deals that are currently working and deals that they've closed. I don't know where you've been. This is what we do.
Right.
We do this. Closing. I'm talking checks. I don't know what you mean by closing, but that's what I'm talking about. Getting paid. Yeah.
And I know in addition to that, maybe some closing calls or some closing clips of that, locking down a deal with a seller on the phone. I know Justin has a lot of free YouTube stuff out there that you guys can check out. But the role play sessions are probably the most powerful. Because at the end of the day, you could be a powerful texter, you can know how to market the heck out of stuff, but if you can't close or you can't train someone to close, then I could give you 1,000 leads, and if you can't close one of those leads, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
So it all comes back to that understanding.
Let's pop back into Tusif and show us this Ringless voicemail. I think we got into it. I interrupted and then we moved on to other stuff. So let's pop back into Ringless voicemail, can we? Before we wrap up.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've gone a little long today, but I hope everybody's okay with that. We can totally answer some more questions, but let's show Ringless voicemail too.
Sure.
So anyway, everybody can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay. So it's pretty simple, just like SMS campaign, except that instead of typing text message, you'll have to select a voicemail record, Ringless voicemail message.
Okay.
So you'll be, just typing in the campaign name just like before, and you can upload list, or you can, select a campaign, and this is actually a voicemail box, incoming voicemail box. So if somebody from when you send a message, if someone tries to call back your number, if you have selected voicemail, they will listen, this voicemail will be played, or if you have chosen call forwarding number, the call will be forwarded to your personal number, whichever you choose. And
Yeah,
then
I'm going to add on that too. So when you click on the ringless voicemail on the left, before you do that, there is a record voice button on the actual platform. And to see if you want to show that real quick, RVM voice recording down at the bottom here.
yeah,
You click on that, and when we open that up, you can record a message that sounds something like, "Hey, saw your house on Craigslist. I was wondering if you would consider selling it as a rent to own. If you would, please give me a call back at this number. I'd be very interested in talking to you about that. Thank you." I mean, you could just a generic message. That's the only downside to ringless voicemail is it's rather generic. You can't really put in the address and do all of that. I mean, that technology doesn't actually exist yet. We've investigated that extensively. It's starting to kind of come around with voice cloning and all of that, but it just all of the technology isn't quite there yet. But as soon as it is, we'll implement it. But you'll send a generic message, you'll record it, and then when you go back to RVM on the left hand side there, RVM campaign, you'll select that at the top. Select RVM recording.
And you have to make sure that the voicemail which you select, it should be minimum 30 seconds. It should not be less than 30 seconds, That's, standard limit, or, that which carriers have put. It should be minimum 30 seconds. It can be more, but it should be minimum 30 seconds.
Okay, perfect.
Wow, that's cool.
So you'll have a pretty decent, informational voicemail that you can send. I mean, you can get a lot of information out in 30 seconds. And then when you scroll up real quick to see if you can show, when you say select campaign, so you name your campaign, you can upload a list. If you have a scrape that you have pulled from Craigslist or Zillow, you can select that here.
Yeah.
And then the system is automatically linked up with it if it's come from a scrape. You'll link up your voicemail box. So your voicemail box would be, "Hey, this is Michael. Hey, this is Michael. I'm not available right now. Please leave a message. I'll call you back as soon as I can. Thanks." That's what your voicemail box probably would sound, something like that. Or if you want, you can forward that. So instead of automatically going to your voicemail, if you want it to go to your cell phone, or for some folks, they like to even set up we call it a live answering service. You could set it up to a live answering service if you think that's a better way for you to do it. Personally, that's how I would do it if I'm not going to be available to take the calls, or there's not an assistant that I have dedicated to take the calls. I think having an actual voice touch is a little bit better for conversion and everything. But bare minimum, you can forward that to your phone and answer that if you're available.
Hey,
so just keep that in mind.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
How can I so from the text message, right, platform, whenever we are the people that have not responded, how can we follow up with them on a ringless voicemail?
Yep, that's a great question. So when you do your text campaign, right, TwoSeef is going to show up, or basically TwoSeef is going to show us, you'll actually be able to download your list that you text message. And when you download that list, you can then re-upload the list. Well, you'll have to separate it out from responded to not responded. But once you do that, you can re-upload the list back into the ringless voicemail. There was that upload list button that TwoSeef showed just a moment ago. You can re-upload that, and then send out your message and work it that way.
Yeah, and also if you're looking, if you're just, you can also do right here as well. If you're just to want to do one by one instead of doing bulk. Let's say if if so if you want to this, you see this number has not responded yet. If you want to send a message again to this number, I mean this is not bulk. It's just one by one. You can just type in the message, whatever you want, and then you can.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And when you actually send the ringless voicemail, the homeowner, the recipient to that actual message, they can text you back, or they can leave you a
They can
voicemail.
send a voice. Yes.
I mean, because when they call back, the system's gonna understand that they tried to call you back, and it'll go to voicemail. Unless you have your call forwarding enabled, but it'll go to voicemail. They can leave the message, and then it'll transcribe it for you here, actually on the dashboard.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, guys. Pretty cool. Any questions on this ringless voicemail? It's a brand new feature on theautomatedrei.com.
Yeah, so for the call forwarding feature, if it forwards to like your cell phone, is it going to be just using our cell phone data, or is there minutes that we're going to have to buy within the automated REI?
It's you don't have to buy it, it's just going to charge you 2 cents per 30 seconds of voicemail. Just like message, you're being charged 1 cent per message. Whenever somebody tries to call you back and leave a voicemail, system's going to charge you 2 cents per 30 seconds of voicemail.
Gotcha. Yep.
So there's no single RVM to a single lead. It's a scrape, or it's a uploaded list. Is there a minimum list amount?
No, there's no minimum list amount. It could be single, if you upload a list with just one phone number, it could be single, but I think it doesn't make any sense, to sending a single. But there's no limit. Yes, there's no limit. You can send minimum, you can send one, maximum, I think you can send 1,000, 2,000. But I don't recommend sending, big list just through a one campaign. If you want to send, let's say, if you want to send 10,000 ringless voicemails to 10,000 numbers, you should not just upload a single list with 10,000 contacts in one list. You should just divide your list into smaller list, maybe 500 each, just so you can handle it easily.
Right.
Yeah.
You have a better response rate, better deliverability, all of that.
Yeah, and also this is I mean, you should divide your list into smaller lists. That is a good way to avoid carriers filtering and spamming. If you're sending too many texts on a short period of time, that is you're giving one more chance to carriers to spam you, or yeah.
Right. Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. And we try really hard to play within the rules, with that carrier spam stuff. That's why we implemented the rotation and did some different things here for you guys, just to make sure it's a better experience overall. So,
do we have any more questions?
I do.
Yeah. Okay.
Skip tracing. Is anyone using the skip tracing? Because I'm thinking about doing skip tracing this week. And have you used the skip tracing, Justin, in the automated REI?
I have. Yep. What was the question about the quality?
Yes.
Okay. It's great quality. Yeah. It's the same data that you're going to get from PropStream or some of these other platforms that get the, I believe the name is CoreLogic data. It's the credit bureau worthy type stuff. Used to automated REI offered you tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 skip trace. Tier 3 was what I just described, the best. Tier 1 was okay, but not the best, and it was least expensive. And they've since done away with 1 and 2, because I tell everybody, hey, when you're going to go there, if you're going to use it, you might as well pay a penny more and get the best data, get the data everybody else is offering too. And it's cheaper. So, the only downside, if I can be honest, is that it takes 24 to 48 hours to complete your skip trace. But if you're me, that's okay. Okay.
Right.
If you have to have it this afternoon, that's a different story. You'll have to probably pay more money to have that done someplace else maybe. But here, if you could plug your list pulling and your scraping into your routine, then you don't have to have it today.
And thank you for reminding me on that. So the skip tracing, we actually changed up some of our internal processes and actual data sources and things of that nature. So we do it in two different ways. So we actually are hooked up to a very powerful data API, and the actual data API, the source of that, has different types of handshake agreements. We call it data swap partnerships. Okay. And that's just a fancy term for saying, hey, I have something you want. Let me give you something or I have something you want and you have something I want. Anytime we need to make that transaction happen, we'll just do it. No harm, no foul, right? And so that's what a data swap partnership is. And so our sources actually are hooked up to different sources like TLO, which is considered pretty much the cream of the crop when it comes to actual skip tracing. Of course, nothing is 100% perfect. It's just the way that data is, and data degrades,
sure,
pretty fast. Millions of people change their phone numbers probably every day. So I mean, it's
right.
like whenever you look at it, nothing can quite be perfect. But we have an accuracy rate typically with our data API now is about 70%. Okay. And that's about as good as it gets when you actually do a skip trace. So we do it in two ways. We hook you up through the data API. The downside is that's about 70 to 80% hit rate. So how we do it is we can get the majority of the list back pretty quickly, but we hook it right up through that data API. And then the other 20, 30% that doesn't get hit by the data API, we actually process that manually. That's why it's still a 24 to 48 hour process. We do have on the books to actually implement the API on our platform for anyone to just upload a list or request a list, right? And then once you do that, the actual data, the actual skip trace would come back with like just about an instantaneous result, depending on the size of your list. Okay, so that's something that we have on the books. And as far as implementing that, that'll be a game changer for us. But really, a maximum to have the majority of your list back to you would be about a 2-hour period. But most of the time, if it's small enough list, we can even have it back to you in just almost a couple minutes. So it's a big change. So that's what
can you demonstrate importing the leads in?
Yeah. To see, do you have a raw list that we can go ahead and just upload to the actual skip trace, to the actual skip trace tab?
There's a video tutorial on automated REI of me doing that actually too. If you want to check that out.
Okay.
Uploading a list for skip trace. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it's pretty simple to do. We got a good question here in the chat too, Michael. I want to point out while Tucson getting ready.
Yeah, absolutely.
Somebody wants to know if we can text emails.
So texting emails. So right now, I mean, I haven't personally tried it, so I really can't speak on that. I don't want to give you the wrong information, so I'm just going to say I'll have to test it, and I'll report back to Justin, and he can disperse that message on the list. So let me test if we can check if we can text emails. I will find that out for you, Oscar, and get that shot over.
It's a good question.
Yeah. Text emails. Because I know when you're utilizing, email and everything like that, it can be kind of a pain in the butt, especially with all the spam that's involved. It's even more difficult to even land in an inbox, from email. So that's another video altogether. But I will, like I said, I will find that out and share the news. And if there's a tweak or something, if for some reason it doesn't work, I'll look into what we would need to do to implement that on the system. If we can actually text it, if it doesn't work today, I just don't know.
Good question, though. Good question. How we upload a skip trace list? That's what Two Seats got pulled up now.
Yeah, I'm just so let's say this is my list I want to upload. So first thing, you just have to make sure that the list which you have, it should be in CSV format. If it's not already in CSV, you have to save that as a CSV. So this is how you save a list in a CSV. Go to file here and save as, not just save, click on save as and then browse. And from the save as type, you have to, there are multiple different formats. Make sure you select this one, CSV, comma delimited. And once you save in this format, so just save it. The list I just saved, it's in the CSV format. Yeah, here it is. And then you can just go on to skip tracing page. Here it is. So you have to just have to, enter the request name. You can type anything.
You tracking this, Jerry?
Awesome.
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, just fill in your first name, last name, email. James.
And so once we fill out the form, we upload it. The main thing here is that CSV, because like we've tested the Excel uploading, just the raw list of an Excel. For some reason, the computers it just doesn't like it. So just knowing how to save it in CSV, that's the main thing.
Yeah, and just fill in your number and just use this button to upload. So this is my list. Just select it, and then you're gonna just write here how many you want to skip is whatever. I mean, total number of records there are in your list. Let's say there are 500. Just select that and creates 500 and create skip tracing, and then will just be submitted. And our team will start skip tracing it. We'll deliver it within 24 to 48 hours.
Yep.
I have a question. Under the header for where it says name, is the first and last name in the same column? You don't split them between first and last name, right?
Okay, yeah, it doesn't matter as long
Okay.
as there are names in your list, whether it's in the same column or separate column, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And also header name also doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the header name is owner one or just first name, or it doesn't matter, right? As long as
yeah. And that's for the system as of today. When we actually implement the data API submission, that'll change a little bit, but we'll put out a video on how we would update the list and make that work for you.
Yeah.
But for now, this is how you can do it. Yes.
That's pretty awesome. Awesome,
So-
guys.
Any more
Good.
question with the skip tracing?
Anything else on skip tracing?
No.
Yeah, I did want to say on the skip tracing, Jerry, I use automated REI exclusively for mines because when you look at the price point, most everybody else is charging like 25 cents, 20 to 30 cents per skip trace. You're going to run out of money real quick if you're trying to keep the numbers that Justin proposes on a weekly basis in terms of the kind of volume you want to put out there to reach people. So definitely comes highly recommended. The quality information is outstanding, and the price, you can't beat it. For 5 skips, I could skip 5 people for what it cost me to skip 1 in most of the other systems that I've seen. I just wanted to share that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. We
Okay, thanks.
really appreciate that.
Yeah,
Great testimony too. Thank you, Victor.
you're welcome.
I don't know if you caught it early, but we had you up on our shoulders and we were carrying you around like you just hit the grand slam in the World Series. You miss that?
It's kind of funny. I was having a conversation with one of our members here, Oscar, and I hopped on the phone with Oscar Berlanga. And he put a message, just a moment ago, that I think he locked down an apartment complex deal, which I mean, as far as like actually going after apartment complex data and all of that, I didn't know anyone in particular that was utilizing the platform for it, but I think he locked down a 20 unit, and he got a hell of a deal on it too. So I was really impressed to see that. So I don't know. That's actually one particular guest I would like to try and get on the platform is someone that has experience with apartment syndication. Like I said, guys, earlier in the call, anyone that knows a coach, a mentor, or even someone that's just had a lot of success in this business doing some different things, love to have them on the show and interview them and just get some different perspective in this business. It's always nice to see different things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would be awesome, man. Get him on here. That's what Saturday's Shut Up Money Show is about too. It's about digging in deep like we did today on automated REI, but it's also about expanding our horizons a little too, and hearing some perspectives from Fix and List. You remember that guy, Eric Young? Fix and List. That's not wholesaling. What do you mean? This is the wholesalers club. Yeah, but expand your mind, expand your horizons. You guys hear me quote them all the time. Free your mind and the rest will follow. Okay. All right. So any last questions before we wrap up today? We've gone a long time today, y'all. Is anybody last questions? Anything? I want to show go ahead. Who is that, Sandra? Oh, that's Shay. Okay.
Well, I have some questions. I'm new to the group, so I'm like flooded with questions, but I know this is probably not the right time to ask them, especially because this is for their REI. So I just wanted to see if me and you could get together, or I don't want to keep the Zoom going for my questions.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. We can do that. You want to jump on my calendar, Shay?
Mm-hmm. I think I did already. I don't know if that was the initial email that I got where you sign up, and I think it's like next week or something like that. So I'm not sure.
Okay, I'll check my calendar, and if you're not there, I'll shoot you a message, and we'll get you on there.
Okay.
But I'll take care of it for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
No problem. Anything else that anybody might have? Okay, real quick. Last time before we sign out here, this is theautomatedrei.com. Here's the 3 options. Okay, one more time. Somebody was asking this. It doesn't matter which one you sign up for. Everything you saw today and all of the modules inside the platform work, no matter which one you sign up for. The difference is the free plan, the pay per play. Okay, so the texts are just slightly more expensive. The scrapes are slightly more expensive. The list data is slightly more expensive. The skip tracing slightly more expensive. 19 a month. It's slightly less expensive on everything. Okay.
Right.
The 49.
So texting is the same cost actually, but it's the data. So the listed data prices you see under pay as you go basically just take a penny off all of that.
And like on the 19 plan here, you get list pull is free if you're going to use the skip tracing service with it. Okay. And the skip tracing service, I'm going to slide down so you can see, it's 5 cents. 5 cents. That's nuts. Okay.
Right.
Now the $49 plan, the business plan, comes with all of the same stuff that we just mentioned there in the discounts on the pay to play. But it also comes with the VIP for Real Estate Wholesalers Club. So you can get in on those daily Q&A sessions, get in on that role play with Victor on Wednesdays, and practice, get your game on, get your skills up, right? Don't wish the game was easier, wish you were better.
There you go.
Right. So that's what we're about here. So, hey, I appreciate everybody watching today. There's been so many people jump in here. A lot of people in the chat on YouTube. Brandon Simmons popped in here. What is going on, Brandon Simmons?
Hey, what's going on, man?
It's good to see you.
Real quick, I was watching a little bit on YouTube whenever I was getting ready for some breakfast and stuff, and I saw some guy kind of clowning you a little bit and trying to say, show me proof and guru talk and stuff. You can't do deals without seeing them. Well, wrong. We've closed several deals. We've closed a lot of deals. We're doing stuff nationwide. We're doing stuff statewide. If the guy wants some proof, we can show him some proof.
Oh yeah.
But I hate guys like that are so skeptical and stuff like that, but never ever take action. And it's ridiculous, because what happens, they have total analysis paralysis, and the whole saying behind your whole system here is shut up money. And people need to realize once you have that proof, it's done and over with. And I get so pissed off. Sorry, but I get so pissed off when I see people like, oh, it's not possible. It's not possible. And it's a bunch of crap. It's totally possible.
It totally is, man. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. And, it reminds me of a story in the Bible. I'm a Bible guy, I guess you could say. And there's a story in there where Jesus said, even if somebody were to come back from the dead, you still wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
And I feel like in this case, it may not apply to this person, but that's exactly the spirit that we're talking about. What do you want me to show you? I'll show you. Here's what I responded to that guy in the YouTube chat. I said, well, if I show you proof, whatever you want in proof today, more than proof, will you join the VIP club today?
Right.
There's no response. So it doesn't matter who I am. You're not ready to change. See, so guys, if you want proof, I'll prove it up. Brandon will prove it up. Michael, Victor, who you want it to prove, we'll prove it. But is it about me? Are you going to change today? Are you going to be different today? Right. Hold on.
Here's a tiny little proof. Let's see. Where's my camera at?
There you go.
It's all backwards though. That's net profit, by the way. 51K net profit.
There you go.
13K net profit, 10K net profit. Guess how many properties I went in and saw before we bought it? 0. So when I hear stuff like that, those guys kind of piss me off. Sorry, Justin. I just want to chime in and say it is possible.
That's cool, man. So, I appreciate it, brother.
Good to see you, by the way. Haven't talked to you in a while.
Yeah, Michael and Justin are real guys, good dudes. So, don't clown on them. The stuff they're putting out there is super affordable, super real. And I think that people that need the proof, they're just not the right people. So keep doing what you're doing, man.
Thanks, man. Right on, dude. I love this. I love this club. Everybody's just so right on target and in love with the business. You know what I mean? And in love with each other because they're in love with the business. It's a fascinating community we have, an environment, and I'm thankful. Thank you for coming on, Brandon, and sharing that. That was great, dude.
That.
Anything else that we could say?
And I've used Michael's system. Skip tracing is on point. It's good.
Thank you.
You know, I use other stuff too. A lot of the stuff works. It's just a matter of just executing on it. So.
Okay.
Right.
There you go.
A lot of that. It's all. Yeah, I mean, you can read as many books and know everything, but if you don't do it, it's worthless. It doesn't do anything for you. You know, and Brandon he's here with that, and Justin, and myself, Victor, and Arturo, and I mean Oscar, everyone in this group, man. I mean, definitely has certainly helped me. And with feedback and anything that I can do, guys, let me know. We're always trying to improve. So again,
Absolutely.
Justin, of course, without you, man, I wouldn't have this platform to, talk to folks on. And so I really do genuinely appreciate.
Dude, I love you guys. I love every one of you. Jerry, Brandon, Michael, Victor, Oscar, Nicholas, Tusi, thanks, man. You made the day. Sean, Curtis, Sandra, Vernon, Shay, and there's been like a bunch of people that had to bail because we went almost 2 hours today. It's killer. Thank you for everybody that was here, everybody that's watching out there. Zaida, thank you. Love you too, man. Everybody. Thank you, Kimberly. God bless everybody. Have a great week. Remember, tomorrow, Scraping Sundays, right? If you want to get on my routine, you want to build a routine, you want to build a business, you got to have some rhythm. Tomorrow's Scraping Sunday. It's the start of a new week. Let's rock it this week. Let's rock it. Nobody's going to do it if you don't. Okay? Love y'all.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Got 'em work. See ya.
Job, man. Thank you,
Bye,
everyone.
Justin.